afternoon, friends. Today, EPCH is organizing seminar on emerging consumer design directions and trend forecast for spring summer 27. I, on behalf of EPCH, welcome Shri Varun Sharma ji. He is one of our board of director, and Ms. Urshi Gupta, director WGSN. She will deliver a presentation on the subject today. I now request Varun Sharma ji to present a bouquet and to Urshi Gupta. I request Varun ji to say a few words about this topic and WGS.
We are here for awareness seminar on emerging consumer design, direction and trend forecast in home furnishing, fashion jewelry and accessories for spring season 2027. As you may be aware, home furnishing, fashion jewelry and accessories continue to be shaping a contemporary and expressive aesthetics. For spring season 2027, emerging consumer designs direction indicate a strong shift towards collection that are versatile, inclusive and consciously crafted, mirroring changing lifestyles, heightened sustainability awareness and evolving value systems. Refined tactical detailing and innovative material choices combined with the considered balance of traditional craftsmanship and modern technology are expected to drive new collections, enabling designers and brands to articulate richer product narratives and forge deeper connections with future consumers. So, recognizing the importance of new design direction for upcoming season, Spring Summer 2027, EPCH is organizing an awareness seminar. Today, seminar focuses on decoding key macro and micro trends that are shaping global demand in the home and lifestyle segment, with special emphasis on home furnishing, fashion jewelry and fashion accessories. So, as you may be aware, WGSN is an authority on trend forecasting. They forecast trend for the next 5 to 7 years. And as you may be aware, there are certain topics from sustainability to color trends. We were just discussing them about nostalgia. So they are the most in things. So as exporters and product developers, designers and manufacturers, if we have to compete with the world, we have to be aware of the trends what are being in the market, and we should not miss the bus. So about Urvashi ma'am, she is a director at WGSN and she has experience over 18 years on merchandising, vendor development and retail strategy. So she is renowned for her unique ability to bridge WGSN's global foresighting with the distinct commercial realities of diverse client portfolios. With a deep-rooted background in buying and merchandising for leading retail groups, Urvashi ji possesses an unparalleled understanding for translating complex insight into actionable, impactful business decisions. This is a practical acumen. This practical acumen makes her an indispensable partner in navigating the complexities of product assortment, trends, integration, and innovating road mapping.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for taking out time and coming here in the hot Delhi afternoon, and that too on a Saturday. So thank you so much for coming here and taking out time to listen to me. I think we're going to, I hope that when you leave this room, you're quite inspired, and I've been able to sow some seeds of inspiration and also give you some strategies on how to navigate the current difficult situations. And I hope, and my good wishes to everybody here that we come out of this difficult time currently, which the entire world is going through, and all of which I'm going to say for Spring Summer 27, I hope we all make a lot of profits. And I thank EPCH for inviting me here to speak and to give insights on the WGSN product and WGSN trends for the manufacturers and exporters. WGSN, I'm sure everybody is aware, it is a trend forecasting website, and we give trends, product development trends, consumer insight trends, trends on interiors, starting from bed, bath, decorative lighting, living spaces, hotel industries, etc. From 2 to 5 years, for a 2 to 5 years horizon. So we are currently also telling on the website, there are reports which are catering to how the world is going to change in 2030, how AI is going to take over, and how it is going to affect businesses in 2030. But we are not going that far off today. We are just sticking to Spring Summer 27. And the presentation today is primarily based on insights from WGSN, and it explores the future direction through a trend-focused perspective for product development. And we know that design today is not just about aesthetics, it is also shaped by changes in culture, technology, sustainability, and the evolving consumer needs, most importantly. So the next design wave, which is the presentation title today, is about understanding these shifts and identifying the key directions which is going to shape and influence creativity and design in the seasons ahead. So for today's session, we will first of all look at the key drivers which are shaping the upcoming season. These are basically the forces which are pushing and influencing new trends. So that's the first part of the presentation. It is literally divided into 4 parts. The second part is when we are going to shift into the trend narratives in the interior spaces for Spring Summer 27. And that section of the presentation is going to help us understand how the ideas translate into real environments and design languages. After that, we will explore the accessory forecast, which is focusing on how materials, forms, and detailing are evolving. And finally, we will close today's session by taking a quick look at the WGSN intelligence and the consumer profiles which are shaping the year ahead. So we are going to talk about Gen Zs, how their priorities are changing. We will understand not just what is changing, but who is also driving that change, right? So the first topic, like I mentioned, are the trend drivers for Spring Summer 27. So every season WGSN works with 3 key trend drivers. So that is the pattern that WGSN follows. And all those key, those 3 trend drivers, they come from reading deeper shifts in consumer sentiment in a way that they set the overall tone for how the season is going to feel across design, material, and product direction. They also help us understand what people are really responding to right now and how those needs are going to translate into creative direction. So for this season, we are working on 3 major key drivers which are right here on your screen, which is intentional, geologic, and empowered play. So these are the 3 key drivers for Spring Summer 27 that you're going to see. Now what do we mean by all these trend drivers? So each one of intentional, geologic, or empowered play has a specific mindset. Each is mutually exclusive of each other, but it is also overlapping in some way. First is intentional, which is focused on comfort, meaning, and longevity. It brings in craftsmanship, emotional value, and designs that feel authentic and enduring. So depending on, like the moment I keep speaking about what intentional is, you will immediately relate it back to your collections. Like you also, when you develop collections, you feel that this is a collection with longevity. This is something which might stay for 1 season, 2 seasons, a few months, and then move on, right? So this is about emotional value and designs that are feeling more authentic and enduring. So when you design on that collection. Then we have geologic, which reflects a stronger connection to nature, as the name suggests. So it is about organic textures, earthy influences, and grounding sensory design. And then finally we have empowered play, which is driven by joy and self-expression. So it's very clear that empowered play as a direction can be used in your more funkier kids kind of a collection, where if you're catering to the kids nursery kind of products. And it's bold, it's colorful, it's playful, it brings optimism and personality into design. And together these 3 drivers are going to help us understand where the season is heading, and having this lens gives you a much stronger grip on the market that you might even expect when you are listening to this. So now we move on to the trend narratives in the interior section. What are trend narratives? So what you can see on the screen is your concept flow calendar. What we have actually done on WGSN is that under the three main themes that we have seen, WGSN actually gives you some 20 individual trends under each theme. So, and and each trend then has multiple key and core trends of multiple themes that you can design, that you can further design around. So, while you can only see three macro trends, but 3 into 20, there are actually 60 trends that you can work on when you're working on your collections. And then you can tailor make it to the collections that you have, or to your brands, or to the products that you're developing, right? So you have the flexibility to take them as it is. So all those 60 trends, you can actually either take it as it is, or you can mix and match them depending on your individual design direction. Which is one reason why we say that WGSN is not here to replace your designers. So every individual thinks creatively. Every mind has a different creative instinct, right? So we are just inspiring that intelligence that an individual has. So we at WGSN are very much in favor and very against the fact that AI is taking away jobs. It should be the right way should be that it should be humanized of AI. Technology is never developed to eliminate what is already here, right? So, but however, we are yet to see. I think. I mean, I personally feel that AI is sort of a scam, but yeah, we are yet to see how it pans out. So that's a controversial topic, and I would like to steer clear of that. So basically, what we want to say here is that there is a lot of experimentation when it comes to design, when it comes to trends, and when it comes to adapting those designs and trends into product development and creation of the product. So what we have done here is basically refine that further. So we picked the top 6 trends. I'm not talking about 60, so I've just taken the top 6 trends here and mapped them to the exact months when they are expected to peak. So when they, which means that when they are going to perform best on the shop floor, when consumers are going to adapt to it, when they are going to come and purchase it in the stores. So along with that, these trends also have the tip validation of WGSN, which is again one of our proprietary parameters, and tip expands to trend investment projection. So it is backed by data. So basically all these 6 trends, when I say that these are the top 10% trends, they are all backed by data, and I do have some data points further into the presentation. And essentially from a larger set of themes, these are the ones which are most likely to be the top performers across the season, across the world. And the goal right now here for all the manufacturers, exporters, brands, retailers is to enable smarter investment, reduce risk, and maximize opportunity that we have, whatever little that's left. So coming on from month to month, for February the theme is timeless deco. And this means that we are leaning into an early year shift towards quiet refinement. Focusing on timeless design, the Art Deco influence brings in restrained motifs and luxurious materials, making it a smooth transition for the more expressive end of the year energy. And in terms of market, this is primarily validated for the mid and upper tiers, and who are willing to actually trade up when the design feels innovative and statement driven. From a CMF perspective, we introduced classic navy and brown bark to ground the entire range and build some long-term relevance, because intentional timeless deco is all about longevity and endurance, right? So these are paired with classic materials like leather and wood to refresh vintage-inspired cult classics, and to bring in a more contemporary edge, we layer in cool silver accents along with premium material contrasts, while marble and foil finishes elevate surfaces and add a refined, luxurious touch to the overall direction. Now, when we talk about what kind of motifs or what kind of print and pattern goes under temporary classics, so for icons, what you can use is, use a lot of moon and sun phases to represent new beginnings, while at the same time you need to also protect the fans and the crescent forms and the outward spreading lines on your in your design prints. When we come to print and graphics, you can use a lot of arches, you can use diamond design patterns, you can use some tessellated repeats with a more contemporary feel, while you need to protect classic geometric and historical architectural references as well. For soft goods, the investment can be in digital and woven patterns, and there can be an expansion on large-scale placements and simplified geometric motifs. So basically, you need to also protect stripes, houndtooth, jacquards, and paired back kids repeats. So that is what your thought should be when we're talking about some kind of a product development. For hard goods, what exactly you can do is invest in dark natural wood materials. If you're doing metals, then use some cool tone metals and expand the low-key luxury material pairings. You need to protect the art deco detailing, which also includes your architectural forms and premium low-pile fabrics like velvet. So velvet is in quite a big demand. Is going to be in quite a big demand. Now for March, we are going to look at Replay, which is going to bring a fresh spring energy with reimagined craft and playful design. It's about joyful, bright and expressive materials while at the same time creating a lot of uplifting interiors. So value and mid-tiers trade up when ethics and creativity align in this trend direction. Are moving into luxury through creative collaborations and limited edition pieces. So your limited edition pieces should all go into the March drops that you're going to do. CMF in this story is more color-led, using clashing gradients and using very high bold hues like pop pink and energy orange, which are also balanced by neutrals in a certain way. It's also supported by mixed materials, patchworks, and patchwork from recycled waste and expressive finishes like stained glass and hand-painted ceramics that highlight a maker-led feel. Coming to specific icons, soft goods, printed pattern and hard goods. For icons, what brands can do is invest in optimistic, cartoonish interpretations of classic motifs and expand some doodled faces onto your decor. Which is also giving a lot of playful expressions. You can use a lot of scribbling, sketching, etc., etc. Then for prints and patterns, investing in patchwork, quilting, layered cut and collage techniques, using mixed materials. They can be expanded maximal bright colors, playful contrasts, doodled line works that can be used in this story. And some kidult-inspired nostalgia. So, brands can also be looking for free-form textures, mark making, hand-drawn details, etc. For soft goods, manufacturers and brands can invest in pattern-rich textiles, artisan fabrics, tactile finishes like frays, tufts, tassels, hangings, layered fringes, those kind of things is something which is detailing, which is very important. And that is going to give a very ethical craftsmanship and a storytelling feel to your products. Then when it comes to hard goods, manufacturers should look at investing in colorful weaves or interchangeable hardwares. And also maybe include some personalized details. So they can maybe expand playful norms, create juxtapositions and recycled stained glass ideas, which is something very important. In April, our story is romantic vintage. As the name suggests, it is all about modern, looking at the products with a modern lens, layering elegant lace details, intricate florals, occasion-led mood kind of a thing. Across tiers, this is important for value and mid-consumers, which are trading up for craftsmanship and uniqueness in the products that they buy. And the mid and upper layer moves towards luxury through elevated romantic materials and finishes. So CMF again is building a very comforting palette of, let's say, soft greens, pastel pinks, warm golds and creamy whites. So it's all about that kind of effect, the calming effect, which is balanced with clay, soft salmon color, maize and deeper accents like deep green and classic navy, which are lifted with aged gold. Materials under this story are more about velvet, plain velvet, marquetry with brass, burnished and antique metal finishes which add a soft opulent feel. Coming to motifs and icons, you can invest in, you think about romance-led kind of a story. So it's very clear that you can see here, you're looking at more archival embroideries, you're looking at ducks as icons, you're looking at botanicals and wine motifs as something that is going to elevate your product. Prints and patterns, there can be a use of lot of antique lace and lace-inspired designs. There can be an expansion into archived florals. So, you go back to your archives, your design archives, pick out florals from there. That is going to really help you. And at the same time, try and protect those decorative scripts and, test those cutout detailings, which were quite famous a few seasons ago. So for soft goods, I think one can go back and invest into floral placement patterns and botanical detailing and more vintage-inspired marketing. Then, you can also expand these stories into contemporary furniture and lighting with sculpted metal accents and protect your velvet and high pile upholstery. For hard goods, again, there could be floral inlays. You can think of floral inlays, you can think of botanical detailing. You can also think of expanding modern furniture and lighting with floral motifs and sculpted metalwork, while at the same time protect your plush, luxurious upholstery finishes. In May, the drop is going to be more about coastal currents, very, apt because anyway it would be midsummer in Europe, etc. So people are in holidays. So all those kind of things are going to be picked up. It is inspired, this story and this month, this collection is inspired by ocean tones, marine textures, Miami style escapism, etc. Again, the value focus is on essentials, mid and mid-upper, crafted design-led pieces and luxury on refined long-term investment. Coming to CMF, it is anchored in ice blue and classic navy colors, which is lifted by bright white and accented tomato red or energy orange for that contrast which balances the soft pale tones. And materials again are about recycled plastics, nets, shells, driftwood, glass, rope, anything that you can connect with. See something like tinted transparencies, cool metals, whitewashed wood, or to give that fresh coastal kind of a feel. Now, for icons in this, you can think of beachside inspired motifs. Those weeds that capture that kind of coastal living. Expand into shells, sailboats kind of motifs. Think about clean geometrical shapes. Prints and patterns, manufacturers can invest in hand-drawn waveforms and painterly coastal effects. And you can also expand into rippling water and maritime repeats when you're making the prints and patterns. In soft goods, again, there could be a seaside applique, work that can be a playful coastal graphic that can be used here. There could also be expansion in sailor knot detailing and textiles while protecting embroidered coastal storytelling at the same time. And for hard goods, there could be an investment in recycled materials like fishing nets or reclaimed plastics. One can also expand driftwood, recycled glass and ocean-inspired finishes while protecting their sustainability initiatives. For June, the story is about plant atrium and it is all about botany. It is all about peak summer demand for botanicals, reworking your tropical themes through surreal stylized florals. This is going to appeal to all the customers, all tiers of customers, starting from value to mid to the luxury ones, and because they are focusing on accessible design. And for the luxury customers, it is going to create differentiation with a stronger impact. So if your buyer is a luxury buyer, think about presenting it as something which is giving them differentiation and creativity. CMF is color material finish on this is going to be talking about dark bases and bright accents to bring out the product. You can think of using colors like periwinkle or cerulean blue. Blue definitely stands out on a dark base. And you can also look at grounded tones if you're looking for value and mid-tier customers, which is more about green and ocean teal, which can be used in materials like rugs, upholstery textiles. They can be used in soft decor like, your cushions, etc. And natural wood and glossy ceramics is something that is going to balance the richness of the pattern-heavy designs. In terms of applying the techniques to it, you can think of 3D printing for fine detailing, think of colored studio glasses that can be used, or painted weaves. Materials like cardstock, plywood, felt, which can be used for expressive summer-led decorative applications can also be thought of. Coming to motifs, invest in exotic florals, tropical wildlife, palm motifs, and expand fruit-inspired and warm climate references via the story. Prints and patterns, just go on and invest in bold botanicals and tropical blooms. You can also expand some jungle patterns here, or you can look at layered greenery and animal motifs while at the same time protecting your structure of the product. For soft goods like cushions, rugs, etc., you can invest in oversized botanical prints and make it look like more hand-painted kind of effect. And the expansion can be in textured finishes like embroidery or tufting. And for hard goods, there can be an investment in organic plant-inspired forms, etc. So last month of the season, Spring-Summer 27, unearthed transitions into late summer, into early autumn, and into elemental materials, which is going to give you a lot of earthy pigments. And we can think of sun-baked textures here also, which means that there are selective premium elements which are adding impact in the story or in this drop rather. So focus on earthy hues like clay, nurturing pink, ginger biscuit, healing yellow, which are supported by dusted taupe and terracotta tones for depth in your products. When we come to materials, there would be a lot of use of materials like natural fibers, ceramics and paper pulp for those tactile feel kind of finishes. When we come to icons, there could be investments seen in topographical and aerial map-inspired motifs. And it can be test weathered by clay and brick-like textures. For prints and patterns, investment can be in more dimensional, age and elemental surface inspired designs. And for soft goods, investment can be in more faded, weaving kind of colors and materials. And when we come to hard goods, it is all about recycled stone, mineral offcuts and repurposed materials again. Coming to the next part of our presentation, which is about the accessories for Spring-Summer 27. So first we move into the key items and core items. This I've tried to keep the presentation as direct as possible so that everybody can go back, take back something with them, which means that you can just go back and look at where you're going right or wrong in your collection. So our seasonal products are basically divided into the key items, which showcase the must-have accessories for the season, and they reflect the key trends, colors, materials, and details which influence the market. The second is the core items, which is the section which highlights timeless accessories that continue to resonate with consumers season after season. And together, these represent the top selected directions for any particular season on WGS. This is a must-have product that you will create for Spring-Summer 27. And this is responding to the strong demand for craftsmanship and self-expression that the consumers are looking for. You can create updates onto this piece by using pearls, shells, natural stones, sculptural beads and customizable charms. It also becomes a key artisanal statement piece for the season. The second key item is the eclectic drop earring, which is absolute essential for Spring-Summer 27 because it is capturing the shift towards maximalism. So there will be mismatched pairs. If you remember, some 20 years ago, this was a trend where people used to wear mismatched earrings. So that trend is again going to come in. They are going to be talking about playful motifs, decorative elements like beads, pearls, chains, and antique finishes. And it brings movement and personality that feels the most important bit of the season. The fourth product is the toe ring. The toe ring is going to gain a huge momentum in Spring-Summer 27 because it is driven by the Y2K nostalgia and barefoot inspired styling. So what is interesting is that we have seen the rise of a toe ring by about 188.5% on TikTok. And the Google searches for this product have suddenly gone up by 48.5% year over year. So, you can look at adjustable fits, you can look at recycled materials, you can look at gemstone details, which are going to refresh the trend. Then the last key item would be the vintage look pendant necklace, which is also a very key essential. This is driven by nostalgia again and the growing appeal of heirloom inspired jewelry. So think about long chains, meaningful charms, antique metallic finishes, and upcycled details that bring a strong storytelling element into this timeless piece. Coming to women's bags, so that was accessories, key items. Coming to women's bags in Spring Summer 27, they're really emerging as essential because everyday staples are now defining both style and function in Spring Summer 27. So the first key item for women's bags is the belt bag. This is gaining strong momentum as consumers are looking for versatility and practicality at the same time. It is updated with removable pouches, add-on features, and improved security details, so making it a flexible essential that works across multiple styling needs. The second item is the leather basket bag, which is also a key direction for the season, and it is focusing on craftsmanship, functionality, longevity, endurance. You can think of woven and cut out, detailing in it. And then the use of responsible materials and spacious silhouettes is something that is going to make this product and is going to update this classic product which we've seen year after year. And then we have the XL summer tote, which is becoming a must-have for those relaxed, multifunctional kind of dressing. There are oversized silhouettes which we are anyway seeing in garments as well. So those are also going to be complemented in bags. Think of making these bags in materials like raffia and with handcrafted detailing and with soft, comfortable construction. So the idea behind this product and using these materials is that it captures the ease and utility that the consumers are looking for in more resort-ready kind of accessory. Coming to men's bags for Spring Summer 27, that is also a category which is gaining a clear momentum and it is shaping up as an everyday essential, especially with a travel-driven silhouette. So, and plus it is a specific lifestyle trend for most men now. So first and foremost in this category is the Guardian design crossbody, which stands out as a key functional direction. That's the first bag on the left hand side. And you can look at the structured form, protective closure, and refined hardware, which is making a strong balance of safety and style in this product. Then we have the Softorial shoulder bag, which is the center image. This is balancing soft construction with everyday functionality for the use. And the shape, as you can see, is very relaxed. The details are secure. And there are elevated material which actually gives it a very refined and gives a very premium, versatile kind of a look. Then finally we have the Weekender bag. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. It is an essential for the season. It is built around mobility, convenience, has a spacious design, has smart organization and adaptable carrying options which make it a go-to piece for a contemporary travel lifestyle. Now, after the key items, let's move on to the core items and how we can update these core items. Now, what are core items in the first place? They are the long-standing jewelry essentials which continue to stay relevant season after season, each season, but are refreshed each season to keep them current and to make them more relevant for a particular, time. So the first one here in this collection is the decorative hoop, which remains a key jewelry staple. We've been seeing a hoop season after season, and its relevance is growing as embellished jewelry trends rise. So there are a lot of trims and embellishments which are actually increasing in relevance by about 12.8 percentage points on a year-on-year basis. For Spring Summer 27, this classic is updated with charms, pearls, beads, mixed materials, and playful motifs, bringing more expression while still keeping the timeless appeal of the product intact. Then the second product is the pendant stack, which is another core direction that continues to evolve, supported by the growing momentum of pendants and charms, which are up by about 7.9 percentage points year on year on the catwalk shows. And for Spring Summer 27, it is refreshed through layering, chains, mixed metals, playful charms, and stone set details. and it offers a more personalized and modern take on classic jewelry essential. The core items again continue with enduring products and staples which stay relevant each season, which is one of which is a bracelet, which is a key core essential. Again, we are seeing the TikTok views rising for this bracelet stack by about 185%. And for Spring Summer 27, this piece is refreshed by layering, by playful charms, mixed materials, as you can see in the picture. There are color-driven details which are actually reinforcing the versatility of a key day-to-night accessory. Then the fourth product is the Petite Pearl Collar. The Petite Pearl Collar can be refreshed by using a lot of pearls. In it, you can look at graduated settings, mixed motifs, spacer beads, some subtle charm details, and reinforcing pearls as timeless yet expressive material. And there could be a lot of layering that can also be used in this product. Then we have the ring, which is something which is staple, which is something essential for everybody, including the men and women. It is a piece which is gender inclusive, and it is re-emerging as a core jewelry trend wherein there is demand which is driven by personalization and vintage inspired styling. This classic is refreshed through sculptural bands, mixed shapes, playful motifs and multi-pack sets, balancing everyday wearability with more expressive detail-led designs. Now the next is the material forecast for Spring Summer 27 on what materials can be used for the products that we've spoken about. So those are some key solid material trends for SS27, which are your,
Just go back.
This is one of our story, which is a standing out story for the key solid material for Spring Summer 27. It is talking about natural stone or bio-based alternatives. So so antique metals also is another strong trend driver for us, which is you can use some recycled gold, silver, and bronze finishes, which add that alchemist kind of a feel to the products. And it also gives a lot of vintage depth, contrast, and statement appeal. Then the third and the very important direction is also the crafted naturals, which is focusing on nature-shaped solid forms, and again the use here is by of recycled bio-based and regenerative materials. The shape is more organic, it's more curved. There's a flora fauna detailing that you can look at, which is going to ground this particular collection. And there are nature-led aesthetics across accessories, jewelry, and footwear. Next, we have the material which is sculpted wood, which introduces curved, nature-driven forms using recycled and regenerative materials. It gives basically, you can talk about inlays, solid shapes, works with metals on wood, works with stone on wood, which highlight a very organic, tactile kind of a quality in a material. Then the next direction is brutalist elements, which bring a strong industrial edge through angular forms and raw textures. There are recycled materials like resins and stone and concrete or gunmetal tones that can be used here. Then the sixth story is about made of stone, which is reflecting some elemental origins and inspiring products, forms through Stone Age inspired finishes. So use some semi-precious gemstones or bio-based alternatives. It brings that color and texture across accessories, jewelry and watches. Moving into hardware and detailing for SS27, there are some key finishing directions which are going to define the season across, again, jewelry, accessories and footwear. So black and gold is going to be a standout trend, which brings in a timeless kind of an appeal, maximalist contrast. And think of using recycled metals, enamels, oinks, and black gemstones. So basically think of combining bold geometric forms with high shine and matte finishes here for a very strong visual impact to the eye of the viewer. Then the next is a braided feature, which introduces more handcrafted direction kind of a thing, focusing on intricate weaving and 3D textures. Seen across straps, belts and jewelries, they use responsible leather or low impact alternatives with tonal or color block finishes for a subtle statement feel. Then we look at jewelry hardware, which is continuing the rise of jewelryfication in accessories as a trend. Here again, however, it is becoming more decorative and more personalized. So you will see a lot of opulent finishes, playful creativity coming here. You can also look at charms, detachable chains, pearls, gemstone details, which turn hardware into modular personalized components. Then we have mini buckles, which bring a subtle utilitarian update with scaled down recycled metal hardware. And again, the colors here are going to be a lot of gold and silver, which is adding refined function and everyday versatility. Then we are going to see a lot of fish motifs gaining momentum, which are going to reflect the restorative coastal influences in products. And then we have fringes, the stone fringes, so the stone lace fringes, which is going to introduce a playful high shine direction in the products, and these layered crystals and rhinestones in modular fringing is going to immediately elevate the product to look very luxury and also going to create movement along with the product. Now for leather and non-leather in SS'27, the key material directions which are shaping texture and comfort across categories is something like cracked leather, which is going to bring distressed, worn-in textures for SS'27. You can use this product responsibly by using your surplus leather with crinkled, creased finishes and sometimes even enhancing it with metallic effects. Then you have the embossed texture, which is all about reviving the decorative surfaces through ornate, floral and historical patterns. Again, using responsible leather alternatives, and it blends large-scale blooms, paisleys and nostalgic motifs across accessories and footwear. So it's all about embossed leather also in shoes and bags. Then there is something called Skinergy, which is introducing soft second skin materials, focusing on comfort and well-being. So think of responsible leathers, natural, innovative wellness fibers, which are delivering those lightweight, calming textures. Coming to the USP of WGSN, which is color. So I'm going to now give you the color forecast for Spring/Summer 27. We are going to talk through the three stories that we had initially spoken about, which was intentional, geologic and empower play. So how color is defined in all these three stories. So the intentional palette for SS'27 is going to blend with a lot of restorative pastels, sun-drenched hues, warm neutrals as you can see on your screen, and again deep classics which are anchored by the color of the year story of WGSN. And this basically, when you look at it, it is balancing seasonal freshness with long-term investment shades. Creating, and this is giving a very versatile foundation to accessories and jewelry across collections. So you can see colors here which are like the dark burgundy, soft salmon, then you have caramella, tangerine peel, classic beige, creamy white, deep green, then you have calming green, ice blue, luminous blue, classic navy and black as the major colors in this. Yes, it is all there on the WGSN website. So when you go on to the intentional, these are all downloadable color cards which are available in the EPCH library for the exporters. Moving on to the geologic color palette, as you can see here, it is, you can see that the pattern is clearly blending grounding earthy tones with some energized brights. So the half of the palette is all earthy, and the last four colors are so bright that they are going to create a balance of nature-led stability with expressive color. And all these bright colors in this palette are anchored with shades of clay, energy orange and meadowland green, which delivers a versatile mix for accessories and jewelry across categories. Then the third and final color palette in empowered play is blending foundational dark with playful brights and candid pastels. This is again anchored by key color, which is the pop pink color, which is the last color in the color card. And it delivers a very high energy mix, which is designed to drive expression in the users. And it can this color palette can specially be used in expression-led accessories. Now coming on to the intelligence bit. Now this section is basically based on WGSN's market research and data-driven insights, and it highlights the emerging opportunities which are going to change the consumer needs and inform you of the key market gaps that brands can tap into. These insights also identify where future demand is growing and where there is potential to create new value for the manufacturers and the brands. Now the first and foremost is designing for neurodiversity. So this is one of the biggest opportunities which is emerging today and that is designing for neurodiversity. Now more than 50% of the Gen Z population identify themselves as neurodivergent, and this could rise to 70% with Gen Alpha, now that they are also coming into the consumer group. Now, as a result, what consumers are going to expect? They are going to expect increasingly expect spaces that support focus, comfort, and mental well-being. Right? So this creates a significant opportunity for brands to develop more inclusive environments, more inclusive products. For decorative lighting, you can look at adaptive lighting, you can look at flexible furniture, acoustic solution and tactile materials to cater that kind of a consumer. What brands also need to do is reimagine your luxury interiors with the Gen Z and Gen Alpha coming. All the younger consumers are redefining luxury, literally. So, it is expected that 80% of luxury spending is going to be driven by the young consumers, the Gen Z and Gen Alphas by 2030. So rather than focusing solely on status, they're not looking at brands, they're not looking at something that's pricey or but what they consider luxury, which is blended with craftsmanship, heritage, wellness, and products that have a very strong emotional connection. So that is luxury for the current younger generation people. So for brands, this actually creates an opportunity to bring some traditional techniques, artisanal details, and premium finishes into modern interiors, while also offering accessible luxury through smaller decorative pieces. Like, say for example, bag charms. That is something that people can buy. Maybe they will not be able to buy a full-fledged Louis Vuitton bag, but a Louis Vuitton accessory or a charm is something that they can definitely buy. And it gives them that pleasure of having that brand, and it's a small piece, so that kind of a thing. There is also opportunity in adaptive design. Why adaptive design? Because climate change is rapidly becoming one of the biggest forces of change and one of the biggest concern areas, right, which is shaping design. So there is sustainable construction market. It is expected to reach about $523 billion US by 2020. By the end of 2026, there is going to be demand for climate responsive solutions. It is already accelerating. This is creating opportunities for designers to develop energy efficient spaces, integrate renewable energy, support urban farming, and bring nature into the built city environment, which is also going to help create spaces that are both resilient and future ready. And this can be seen now. So, this is the first time that we are seeing the entire Europe complaining about the temperatures, right? The Roland Garros was happening last week. The players are losing matches. Like the world number one Sinner actually lost the match because he did not feel okay in the heat. He literally gave a walkout on the last set. So that is how important climate change is, right? Then there is a very important opportunity, which is slow living, because there are concerns about burnout, there are concerns about digital overload, there are concerns which are constantly growing about constant multitasking. Consumers are now embracing the slower living culture. They are looking at more intentional lifestyles. So in fact, multitasking now for the Gen Z population, they say that it reduces our productivity. When you come to millennials, someone who's in their 40s or 45s right now, they would have some 10,000 tabs open on their screens and they are multitasking. They're probably looking at, taking a call from home, talking to a buyer, at the same time also looking at the office HR. So that's what the millennials do. But the Gen Zs, they cannot do it. They say that it is the loss of productivity for us. So, and they also have numbers attached to everything. So they say that our productivity is reduced by about 40%, and 70% of the people now, actually, when you talk to this younger generation, it is a survey which has been conducted. They say what increases your productivity or what is the best thing which is your life's greatest joy. And 70% of the respondents said that the life's greatest joy is sleeping. Okay, so this shift is then, again, what does this mean? This shift is creating demand for more calming, restorative spaces that support relaxation, well-being, everyday rituals through comfort-focused design, flexible living, ambient lighting, all those kinds of things. Now, coming to the most questionable generation of our times, it is the next generation of consumers, sure. They have their priorities absolutely right and sorted in the right place. Their priorities shape their purchasing decisions. Unlike the previous generations where the purchasing decision was driven by what a brand has to offer, right? So they can roam around the entire day in a mall without spending a single penny because what they see on the shop floor is not vibing with their energy, right? So that's what their word is. So they need, and their purchasing decisions and design influences are going to only increase in the times to come. So let's just see what our Gen Z intelligence looks like. As of now, this data is saying that Gen Z is emerging as the most influential consumer group, and they're going to have a projected spending power of about $121 billion by 2030. And the population of this Gen Z is going to be about 377 million in India alone. So, so that is what the power of a Gen Z is going to be. And their purchasing decisions, like we said, are going to be shaped by mental well-being, mindfulness, gaming, and community. So, as a result, it's a very strong opportunity for brands to create products and experiences that support self-care, personal expression, and meaningful connections for this consumer group. Then they also have they don't want to own things. So Gen Z doesn't want to own things. They're very happy doing a renter-friendly living. They have affordability challenges, sure. They are continuing to shape our house building choices. Many Gen Z consumers are actually turning to renting and shared living. So this is driving demand for flexible, multifunctional furniture, smart storage solutions, and easy to personalize spaces that make homes compact and feel more practical, comfortable, and expressive, which is aligning with their identity. Then they also have hybrid living and working. Almost all the companies they went hybrid or they went remote during COVID. Then last year, I think primarily most of the companies went back into the offline mode. And now again with the energy crisis that is looming large over the world, we have again, our Prime Minister has actually said that everybody should do a 50% work from home. So we've again gone back to hybrid working and living. So your spaces should be comfortable enough to work and as well as to live in the same place. So 71% of Gen Z again prefers that you should not spend all your time working from the office. There should be a smart hybrid mix of home and office works. So homes again have started taking on multiple functions. There is a growing demand for flexible workspaces that support productivity, well-being, and self-expression. And this creates opportunities for compact desks, smart storage solutions, and adaptable furniture that seamlessly fit into everyday living spaces. And each of these Gen Zs, we were just talking before the session, they want their space to be very Pinteresty and Instagrammable. Like, they wouldn't want to go out, take pictures, they're doing selfies in front of a artificial glass wall, they're doing a nice lighting, they're doing some kind of a reflective photography there. So all of that is what it is. So, their priorities have completely changed. Coming to the changing priorities, we now have the Gen Z product priorities, and this is our last slide for the day. So when it comes to products, Gen Z is actually looking for items that support connection, creativity, and self-expression. The key opportunities here include products for entertaining at home, gaming, and shared experiences. They are looking at a lot of do-it-yourself kind of products. They have creative hobbies, they have flexible solutions to everything, whether it is parenting, whether it is design-led products, and they are the biggest pet owners, so everybody is a pet parent. So across all those categories, functionality, personalization remain our key drivers. And so this basically concludes our presentation on the next design wave. And as we move towards Spring-Summer 27, it is not just about following trends, but it is also about anticipating change and creating products that resonate with your consumers in the long run. And that's it from my side. The floor is open to questions. If there is any question, you can please ask. Or if there was anything in the presentation, if you want me to repeat, I'm very happy to do that as well.
Starting from Jan till July.
Feb till July.
Feb till
Yeah.
So, for me, I feel more confused as to what trend should I follow. Sitting in India, I cannot, create samples for every month for a customer of mine. So what should I follow?
That is a very good question, and I had actually anticipated this question when I was giving this presentation, so thank you very much for asking. It is not about what you will anticipate each month for them. So we are giving you a 6-month horizon. We are telling you that when you are giving a collection to your buyer, he's of course putting it out there on the shop floor, right? So your collections in terms of your buyers, so you from your side can also give a lot of insight into your buyer, saying that fine, I'm giving you these 6, 7 collections, 10 collections, 12 collections. To give newness to your store, this is how you should be dropping them in your store. So that is what the trend narrative is. So because with each season, now retailers have a very big challenge on getting a lot of stuff from the exporters in India and in China. But how do you display and capitalize on them? So as an exporter, as a manufacturer, it is also, I feel, your obligation to your buyer to help him sell the products, and that is where from design to execution, you become a partner with your buyer. So that was the whole point of giving the February to July kind of a narrative.
So does that mean I have to make 6 different collections?
Would you not make 6 collections? Would you just keep making one thing and ask thinking that your buyer is going to take it repeat on repeat on repeat? Would you not want to offer newness to your buyer?
No, understandable, but like I said, the whole thing has to be communicated to the buyer's buyer. It's the ultimate consumer. Would they be aware of the trends, what they are
Yes,
to buy?
of course. They see, when you have to drive consumption.
Yeah.
Consumption is driven by what new is a retailer able to provide to a buyer. The similar story backtracks into what newness or what new thing a manufacturer is giving to the buyer. So that is how the entire story is. Ultimately, our main motive is what sells to the end consumer. So how do you create newness in your product? That is what trend forecasting is also about. It's all about creating newness in your products.
Also, sir, this presentation was for year 2027.
Trending shapes was included in this. Yeah, it was included in the presentation. Maybe you missed out. The presentation will be available, Raja. Presentation will be available on the website, right? So presentation will be available. Everything that I have spoken about is mostly written on the presentation, so you can take a look at that. We did talk about silhouettes, we did talk about curve forms, we did talk about...
For exporting earrings, and in your presentation I couldn't see any earrings. You are talking about back charms, rings, necklaces, and even my buyers who are coming for summer 27, they are asking for belts, and there was no belts.
There was belts here.
I-
There was leather belts.
You are saying leather belt. We are into fashion. We are not into, we are beaded belts or embroidery belts or something, horn belts.
Okay. So, sir, basically, see, the brief that was given to us was about covering fashion jewelry, to cover home soft accessories, fashion accessories, and fashion jewelry a little bit. So, all of those categories from a top level have been covered. If there is any help that you need on specific report or specific category which is earrings, I can share a PDF with Rajat, or you can leave your card with me. I can download a complete report and I can share it with you.
There is always we always have to balance polyester and cotton in materials. So which material do you think would resonate more with the customer, like he said that they are important? So
I think the entire world is gravitating towards sustainability and tracking. So, I think in at least in garments, when we see and when we look at trends, people are gravitating towards natural fibers.
So just one additional thing, I totally agree with that, and we are very good with cotton in India. And a customer was discussing 10 days back, he said that cotton for India and polyester China. That was, he said in two lines. But they take the bulk to China because of polyester.
I don't think I'm the right person to answer that question, because we can only do trends. And we know that natural fibers and natural materials is something, responsible sourcing is something that is going to be a big trend in the future. So India is in trend, India is very strong in cotton and in natural fibers, and that is definitely going to continue. So maybe because of the pricing, the polyester is going up, but otherwise from a trend perspective, it is the natural fibers, yeah.
Presentation that you gave on accessories. Do you also see home furnishings and all being accessorized to enhance the look?
Yeah, of course.
No, because see, metal and all, we used to do a lot of embroidery. We all used to do a lot of zari and all 10-12 years back. But now it is only all natural now. Do you see a trend for zari or gold or silver coming back into? Is there any
There is
indication?
embellishment as a trend, for sure. It is also in garments, it is also in a little bit of home furnishing, but it is not yet trickled down to interiors per se as a category.
Okay.
But definitely in garments and in tops, etc., it has come. So we do have a trend which is about embellishment in garments. That's a very big thing.
But in home furnishing?
Not yet. We haven't come out with a report which is talking about embellishments in home furnishing yet. It may come in, because a lot of times what happens is what people are seeing in fashion and garments, then ultimately that also comes, a bit of it also comes and overlaps with the interiors category. So we yet to see that, but maybe, I can't say that.
Customer, who is your targeted customer where you put in all your trends to, or how do you create these? Are these created for the Europeans, the Africans, the Australians, the Japanese? Because they're all very, very different.
Good question. But this is a global platform.
But what is global?
Global is across the world, so spanning from Japan to the US.
Well, I disagree. I disagree to this.
This product has been in
I agree.
In existence since 1992, and there is no competition. So I can't say that this product is excellent, but yeah, your question is a valid question.
Every country you go down to,
there's
so much of dissimilarity, I would say, that the trends, they actually do not work.
I will actually send someone to your office to see the depth of WGSN, because this is just 48 slides.
Yeah.
Our one report is 12 slides, and every year we publish across categories about 6,700 reports on the website.
But then do you also do country-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
There is
That
country.
is
So we
good.
have heavily invested in India as a country as well. So we have India Fashion also on the website. We have India Consumer Insights also on the website. Let's say how the consumers in tier 1 cities behave, how the Gen Z of India behaves,
Yeah, that's-
what is the macro forecast for India in 2028. Then we have Korean fashion, we have Japanese fashion, we have color palettes for China, we have color palettes for India, we have Latin America fashion. So all of that is also there, which is why I say that there are about 6,700 to 7,000 reports which are published on the website every year.
I really appreciate that. That is the way to go, I think.
Are the reports available?
I don't see anything over here for the US for spring summer, especially say Americana over there. There's just nothing there.
Because regional differentiation was not asked to be presented.
Yeah,
I
but
could have done it.
that's a huge selling item that goes from here in India when it's just not.
It is this report primarily what I have presented right now is about what brands are looking for from the manufacturers. It is something which is across the world. The subtleness, the subtle trends, like the 6 trends I said, the three macro trends give 20 stories each. So each story is related to a certain geography and to a certain brand.
But I didn't see anything for say Christmas here.
Because that was not asked to be covered. Holiday gifting was not asked to be covered. Like what I said,
What about spring summer? That's a huge.
we were covering spring. We covered spring
There's
summer.
nothing over here for the US.
It
Spring
was,
summer for Americana.
sir,
themes.
we do not cover it like that in regions. If I start covering regions, we will have to sit here from morning till evening. Because there is US, there is Europe, there is Africa, there is India, there would be Scandinavian countries. So I will have to give a holistic, I was asked to give a holistic view on spring summer as a season, not spring summer season in America. So that is a completely different thing. Yeah.
It's a general overview.
It's a general overview.
It's a general
Yeah.
overview.
No, but in that
Because we have to
general
like-
Finish or shiny.
I think matte is the way to go. Matte
We
is.
are into thread manufacturing.
Yeah,
So
matte is the way.
Shiny, polyester.
Yeah. So shiny threads are basically trending as pop enhancements. So to give that, like, on a pastel, you will have a shiny, embroidery, a little motif, which is giving that accent kind of thing. But otherwise, if you're looking at an overall thing, matte is the way to go.
I think the shining gold.
I think we can take more further questions on tea and coffee. Would that be fine?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.